Hi, my name is Robert Holden. Thank you very much indeed for pressing play and joining me on this short video on mirror work. So what's your experience of mirror work? Are you a novice? Are you intermediate? Or are you an absolute pro? You know, I've heard about mirror work for years before I even tried it. I thought I knew what it was. I imagined that it worked for people, but I just didn't do it. Why not? Not really sure. Probably it was resistance. It's usually resistance with me. When I finally came face to face with the mirror, I have to say I had a profound and powerful experience. It was challenging, it was cathartic, but it was also incredibly liberating. After that, I started to use mirror work in my life and in my work. I used mirror work in my daily meditations. I used it in my coaching practices. I used it in my public workshops, particularly with the Happiness Project. And I also wrote about mirror work in my book, Lovability. Now, I'm really lucky because I have a great mirror work teacher. Her name is Louise Hay. You may have heard of her. Louise is a true pioneer of mirror work. She credits mirror work actually with healing her life and helping her to live a life that she loves. For her, mirror work is the most powerful tool on the planet, and I'm so pleased and lucky and fortunate to have been able to have learned about mirror work from Louise. I've actually spent a lot of time in front of the mirror with Louise. If you're a friend of Louise, you will do this. In fact, when we wrote our book, Life Loves You, we actually sat in front of a wall-length mirror and had many of our conversations, made many of our notes in front of that mirror, and even did all of our exercises in front of the mirror. Now, in this video, I want to share with you the first mirror work exercise that Louise Hay taught me. First, let's look at our relationship to the mirror. I want to take you through 5 stages. Stage number 1 is from the first day you were born to around about 18 months. Now, child psychologists note that at this stage, young infants aren't that interested in the mirror. Why is that? One theory is that children are still identified with the wings of their soul and that they're not so body conscious. Stage 2. This is from around about 18 months to 4 years old. Some psychologists actually call this the mirror stage. They call it the mirror stage because children are really interested in the mirror. In fact, the mirror is great entertainment. It's like a toy. When we find ourselves in front of the mirror, we're pulling faces, we're goofing around, it's comedy, it's theater, it's a game, we're having a great time. The mirror is our friend. And in fact, we're really interested in our reflection. If we see our reflection in a puddle, we're interested. If we see it in the back of a spoon, or some bathroom taps, or on a kettle, or a saucepan, this becomes a source of great amusement for us. We love this. Stage 3. This is from about 4 years on. Something happens here. All of a sudden we become self-conscious. 1 minute we are taking selfies, and lots of them. My daughter Bo, when she was about 4 years old and 5 years old, she would take up to 50 selfies in a few moments, and I'd actually find them on my cell phone. And she was having a great time with this. But something happens. 1 minute we're taking selfies, and then the next minute we're camera shy. Stage 4. This happens from 7 years on, 8 years on, into our teenage years. This is where we become really self-conscious and where we may even be tempted to leave the mirror alone. We wince when we're in front of the mirror. We cringe. We speed up when we're going past mirrors. All of a sudden, the mirror isn't our friend. What's happening here? Well, maybe what's happening is that we've started to judge ourselves. And now, the mirror isn't so much a friend, it's a judge. Stage 5. we come back to the mirror. We have to come back to the mirror. If we want to live a happy life, if we want to love ourselves, we have to find a way to get through our fear of mirrors. We mustn't be afraid of the mirror. Now let's talk about the mirror principle. The mirror principle is one of the most important principles that you need to know about. What is the mirror principle? The mirror principle, simply stated, says the quality of your relationship with yourself influences the quality of your relationship with everyone and everything else. Your relationship with you is reflected in every other relationship there is. Let's start close in. I'll give you an example. Your relationship with yourself, the way you see yourself, the way you feel about yourself, the way you treat yourself, will influence your relationship with your body, for instance. Also, your relationship with yourself will influence your relationship with your heart and your capacity to know your heart's desire. Your relationship with yourself will also influence your ability, your confidence to listen to your inner wisdom. It will also help you to cultivate the soul gifts that you came to this planet with. Your relationship with yourself also influences your relationship with everybody else. So, for instance, we date on our own level of self-esteem. What we bring to our relationships is what we experience. What we withhold from our relationships is what we think is missing. Your capacity to love yourself is what helps you to recognize when you are loved by others. In fact, your capacity to love yourself is what makes it easier for others to love you. But also, when you love yourself, you are able to love others much more unconditionally. And that's the mirror principle. Now let's do a mirror work exercise. The exercise that I'm going to teach you is the very first exercise that Louise Hay taught me. So, here goes. The essential equipment for this exercise is a mirror. Any mirror will do. You may wish to use a compact like this. Of course, not everybody carries a compact with them. So you may also wish to use a cell phone. This is nice and easy. You can, of course, also use your bathroom mirror. Any mirror will do. And for the purposes of this exercise, we are going to use this big fellow here so that you can see exactly how to do the exercise. Okay, so step number 1, pick up the mirror. Step number 2, you're looking into the mirror, and this is where you need to remember to breathe. A lot of people stop breathing. Mirror work doesn't work if you stop breathing. So remember to breathe. Let's take a nice deep breath. Very good. Now, this is what I'd like you to say. I love you. I really love you. And then I'd like you to insert your name. Robert, I really love you. Okay? Don't just watch me do this, by the way. Make sure that you really do this and remember to breathe. So let's do this again. I love you. I really love you. And then you say your name. Robert, I really love you. Now the key here is to notice what you're experiencing. Be aware of the sensations in your body. Notice where you feel tense, but notice also where you feel light. Notice how you're feeling. This is big stuff. You might not ever have said, I love you to yourself. Or it might have been a long time since you said it last. So be nice and gentle, but also be honest with yourself. This isn't about being positive. It's about being honest. Also, be aware of your self-talk. Your self-talk might be encouraging you to put the mirror away right now and to try this next year. But the best time to do mirror work is now. The best time to do mirror work is today. So let's have another go at this. Nice deep breath. I love you. I really love you. And then you insert your name. Robert, I really love you. Now, hopefully this is okay. The more you say it, the more natural it's going to feel. Why? Because you are finding the place in you where you do already love yourself. But if it's too much, you can try this. I am willing to love myself. I am willing to love myself today. I am willing to treat myself with love and respect today. Maybe this is a little bit more acceptable right now. A little willingness will go a long way. In fact, willingness is the key to self-love for many of us. So this is a great place to start. Let's try it again. I am willing to love myself. Today I am willing to love myself. I am willing to treat myself with love and respect today. Once again, notice what you're experiencing. The key here is to move beyond the words and really feel what's happening. You know, Louise loves to talk about mirror play. She says that the best attitude for mirror work is to be playful. So be light, be playful, be kind. It's all part of the process. Very well done. Now, what is the purpose of mirror work? We do mirror work to meet ourselves. We do mirror work to connect with who we are and to remember who we really are. You know, when we're looking in the mirror, we're looking for our true self. We're looking for what the Buddhists call your original face, or what the mystic Thomas Merton called your secret beauty. That's what we're looking for. Mirror work is all about self-acceptance. It's about looking in the mirror and recognizing who you are when you're not judging yourself, when you're not putting yourself under pressure, when you're not rejecting yourself. This is who I am when I'm not rejecting myself, when I'm not judging myself. That's enormous. Ultimately, we do mirror work to forgive ourselves for judging ourselves. Mirror work is truly an exercise in self-love. It's a gift of self-love. The more we do mirror work, the more we love ourselves. And the more we love ourselves, the more we start. Five times a day for a minute on each occasion. Now, I know that might sound a lot, but honestly, all I'm really asking for from you is 5 minutes for 7 days. The more you do mirror work, the better it gets. Mirror work doesn't work in theory, it only works in practice. Mirror work doesn't work if you don't do it, so please do yourself a favor and give this a go. And let me know how you get on. You can visit me at my Facebook page, Dr. Robert Holden, Dr. for Dr.